The cameras captured the scoreline. 6-2, 6-2. 76 minutes. A ruthless performance from Iva Jovic, who dismantled Alex Eala's game with stunning precision, hammering 26 winners while committing only 9 unforced errors. On paper, the story looked simple. One player dominated. One player lost. Another chapter in the rise of two future stars. But the cameras missed the real story entirely. They didn't catch the hesitation before the final serve. They didn't understand the silence between the points. They couldn't hear the words whispered at the net. And they certainly couldn't explain why, after the match ended, the winner looked like she was fighting tears harder than the loser. Because this was never just a tennis match. It was two best friends standing on opposite sides of a court, trying to hurt each other professionally while desperately hoping not to hurt each other personally. And somewhere inside that impossible emotional collision, the entire tennis world suddenly witnessed something far more powerful than victory. Flushing Meadows, New York, July 2022. Long before packed stadiums, viral clips, and WTA rankings, two teenagers crossed paths quietly at the US Open Junior Championships. Neither understood what the future was preparing for them. Alex Eala was already beginning to attract attention inside junior tennis circles. At 17 years old, she carried herself with calm confidence, already owning a junior Grand Slam title after winning the Australian Open Girls Singles Championship in 2020. Across the net stood a 14-year-old American named Iva Jovic. Young, fearless, intense. The kind of player whose eyes burned with ambition even before the first ball was struck. At the time, they barely knew each other. They were simply two promising juniors trying to survive another tournament in New York. That week, Eala partnered with Mira Andreeva in doubles against Jovic and Shannon Lamb. The result was decisive. 6-2, 6-2. A straightforward victory for Eala and Andreeva. At the time, it felt insignificant. Just another junior match. Just another tournament. But looking back now, it feels almost cinematic. Because that week quietly planted the seeds for one of the most emotional friendships in modern tennis. That was the first time I met her, Jovic would later say. And she's been such a nice person ever since. Over the following years, the friendship deepened naturally. They practiced together at tournaments, played doubles together, explored cities together after matches, shared meals, shared frustrations, shared dreams. In many ways, they grew up together inside the brutal world of professional tennis. While fans only saw scoreboards and rankings, players experienced something entirely different behind the scenes. Endless airports, lonely hotel rooms, exhausting schedules, and constant pressure. Friendships formed differently in that environment. Deeper, faster, more meaningful. Alex and Iva understood each other because they were living the exact same reality. Both were climbing. Both were sacrificing everything. Both were chasing greatness. And somewhere underneath the friendship existed an uncomfortable truth neither could avoid forever. Eventually, they would have to compete against each other with real stakes attached. That moment finally arrived in May 2026. Roland Garros. First round. The French Open. By then, both players had evolved dramatically. Alex Eala had become one of the fastest rising players on the WTA Tour, carrying enormous momentum after breakthrough performances earlier in the season. Iva Jovic, meanwhile, was establishing herself as one of America's brightest young stars, already climbing rapidly toward the top 20 rankings. For the first time professionally, the two friends stood across the net from one another. Jovic won, 6-4, 6-2. After the match, they embraced warmly at the net. The friendship survived. But something had changed. The rivalry was real now. And barely 2 weeks later, they would meet again. London, England, June 10th, 2026. Queen's Club, Andy Murray Arena. Alex Eala entered the tournament carrying the best momentum of her career. She had just won Birmingham. She had finally broken through difficult mental barriers. She was climbing toward a Wimbledon seeding. Everything felt like it was accelerating perfectly. Then she ran into Iva Jovic again. And this time, the result was even more brutal. 6-2, 6-2. 76 minutes. The scoreboard told a ruthless story. Jovic dominated from start to finish. She controlled rallies early, dictated tempo relentlessly, and never allowed Eala to settle into rhythm. The statistics looked merciless. 26 winners from Jovic, only 12 from Eala. Jovic won 81% of her first serve points. Eala managed only 52%. 9 unforced errors from the American, 19 from the Filipina. It was not simply defeat. It was dismantling. Yet somehow, none of that became the lasting image from the match. Because the real story unfolded between the points. The first set briefly teased hope. Eala fell behind early, but had built a reputation for fighting back throughout grass season. Fans remembered her comeback wins in Birmingham. They remembered her recovering from difficult starts only days earlier. So when Philippine flags waved inside the crowd after Eala clawed one break back, belief returned. Maybe she could still turn this around. But Jovic never loosened control. Every time Eala pushed forward, the American answered immediately. Another break, another winner, another perfectly timed response. By the second set, the match slowly began slipping away completely. And yet, strangely, something about Jovic's body language started changing too. She wasn't celebrating aggressively. She wasn't roaring after winners. Instead, she looked conflicted. Focused, yes. Competitive, absolutely. But conflicted. As if part of her hated what she was doing, even while knowing she had to do it. At 5-1 in the second set, Jovic stepped to the baseline preparing to serve for the match. 1 game away. 2 points from victory. The crowd had gone quieter now, sensing the inevitable. Eala managed to save 1 match point with a fearless forehand winner down the line. A final flicker of resistance. Then came the moment everything changed. Jovic bounced the ball slowly at the baseline.
Once, twice,
3 times. Normally her routine was quick and mechanical. This time, she paused. Her eyes drifted across the net toward Alex. For the briefest moment, her expression softened. The tension in her jaw disappeared. And suddenly, it no longer looked like an opponent staring across the court. It looked like a friend realizing she was seconds away from hurting someone she genuinely loved. Then she served.
ace.
Match over. What happened next stunned the tennis world. There was no celebration, no scream, no fist pump, no emotional explosion. Instead, Jovic walked quietly toward the net. The handshake lasted only a second before she immediately pulled Alex into a hug. Not a quick sportsmanship embrace. A real one.
Tight.
Long, emotional. The kind of hug people give when they understand pain beyond words. Then Jovic whispered something into Alex's ear. The microphones never picked it up. The cameras never decoded it. But whatever she said shattered the emotional wall Alex had somehow maintained throughout the match. Her shoulders began trembling. Her expression collapsed completely. And suddenly, Alex Eala buried her face into her best friend's shoulder as tears finally arrived. The stadium fell silent. Not dramatic silence. Respectful silence. The commentators stopped talking entirely. Thousands of people simply watched 2 young women standing in the middle of a professional tennis court holding each other while emotions poured out in full public view. Jovic didn't let go. She didn't rush to celebrate advancing to the quarterfinals. She didn't acknowledge the crowd. She just stood there comforting her friend. And somehow, that moment became bigger than the match itself. When they finally separated, they walked off the court together side by side, still leaning toward one another as if the scoreboard had never existed at all. Within minutes, clips of the embrace spread across social media worldwide. Fans expected highlights. Instead, they found humanity. People who originally tuned in to watch competition suddenly found themselves emotional over friendship instead. Because sports rarely show moments like this anymore. Everything today feels built around rivalries, conflict, drama, and division. But this felt different.
Pure. Real.
Afterward, reporters naturally asked Jovic about the emotional scene. Her answer only deepened the impact. "I didn't really want to celebrate," she admitted softly. "Alex is one of my best friends on tour. She's been there for me through so much." Then came the line that resonated everywhere. "Winning matters." but so does our friendship." For a second, her voice nearly cracked. "I hope people saw that. I hope people saw you can compete hard and still care deeply about each other. That's what sport should be." The room went quiet, because everyone knew she meant it. In a separate press conference, Alex echoed the same emotion. "It's never easy playing against a friend," she admitted. "Iva is such a good friend of mine. We've traveled together, played doubles together. We've known each other for years." She paused carefully before continuing. "On the court, of course we want to beat each other. That's competition. But afterward, we're friends again. That's how it should be." The maturity behind those words stunned people, especially considering the heartbreak of the loss itself. Because this defeat hurt deeply for Eala. Her 6-match winning streak was over. Her momentum had stalled. Her hopes of a major Queen's Club run disappeared. And yet somehow, neither player spoke about the match with bitterness. Only respect, only admiration, only care. Jovic later admitted she had actually felt more nervous than usual before the match, not because of the tournament pressure, but because of who stood across the net. "I always want us both to do well," she confessed. That's what made this hard. That honesty transformed public perception of the rivalry completely. Suddenly, fans no longer saw Eala versus Jovic as enemies colliding. They saw two friends being forced into impossible situations by the sport they both loved. And somehow, that made the rivalry even more compelling. The next morning, the tennis world still buzzed about the embrace.
Not the scoreline.
Not the statistics. The embrace. Jovic moved on to the quarterfinals. Eala packed her bags and prepared for Berlin, where another tournament and another opportunity awaited. The rivalry was far from over. Alex was only 21. Iva was just 18. Both were still rising rapidly. Both were chasing Grand Slam dreams. Both would almost certainly meet many more times on the biggest stages in tennis. Quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, perhaps even Grand Slam championships someday. The future seemed inevitable. But what made this rivalry special was not hatred. It was affection. A genuine friendship, somehow surviving elite competition. That is incredibly rare in professional sports. And perhaps that is why people connected so deeply to the moment at Queen's Club. Because beneath rankings, trophies, and pressure, people suddenly remembered something easy to forget. Athletes are human beings first. Friends. Dreamers. Young people trying to navigate impossible emotions under global attention. When Iva Jovic held Alex Eala on that court, the sport briefly revealed its soul. Not victory, not defeat, connection, respect, love. And in an era obsessed with conflict, maybe that was the most powerful story tennis could possibly tell. The rivalry will continue. The matches will grow bigger. The stakes will rise higher. One day they may stand across from each other with Grand Slam titles on the line. But no matter how fierce the competition becomes, Queen's Club already gave the tennis world something unforgettable. Proof that friendship does not have to disappear when competition begins. Proof that kindness can survive ambition. Proof that two people can fight each other with everything they have and still walk off the court holding each other afterward. And honestly, that may be more beautiful than any trophy either of them ever wins. Leben always.